Welcome back. It's Tuesday, and that means that we are checking in with the team at Bundy Law Office, answering your questions concerning family law. This segment is sponsored by Bundy Law Office. Today, Hannah Lang is back, and you're going to be walking us through depositions.
Yes.
That sounds like a scary word, but really, what is it?
It does sound kind of scary. It's a step in a process that we call discovery, and I promise it's not that scary.
Okay.
So discovery at large is where we try to discover things about your case from the other side, from you. It's a big process. Sometimes it's kind of formal, but we want to get all the information we can to have the best case possible and to prepare for any arguments the other side might have. And so in that process, we will ask for some documents from the other side. We'll ask for documents from our client. We'll ask a lot of questions just to get the best picture possible and present the best case that we can. Depositions involved in that is kind of like testifying in court, but it's a little more relaxed. There's no judge. There's going to be a court reporter. You'll probably be in an attorney's office somewhere. It's like a question and answer session. So I'll ask questions to either my own client or the opposing party, sometimes even some witnesses. There are a lot less rules in depositions than there are in trial, so we can ask a lot more questions and it's a lot more fluid. Other attorneys are there. Anybody who is being deposed is allowed to be represented just for their own safety and comfort. And so we'll ask questions. Some people can object to the questions, and then we go through whatever we need to do, and we'll get all that information. And we can also ask for documents at that time, and then we can use that deposition at trial. Sometimes we use it to evaluate whether someone would be a good witness at trial or not.
Okay.
And we can also use, if you're the opposing party and I'm deposing you, I can use your testimony then at trial. If you try to change your story, I can come up and say, actually, this is what we said at deposition, because you are under oath in a deposition.
Okay, so this step sounds like this is before you would get to trial. Is this kind of like maybe a in-between to decide if the trial is going to be necessary?
It can be.
Okay.
Typically, we would do this after cases have been filed. You can do pre-filing depositions to decide if a case is a good fit, but typically depositions happen kind of in that middle part.
Sure.
We've already filed a case, we need some more information, and before we go to trial, we would want to do a deposition. So it can be for an evaluation of trial, or it can just be as an information gathering step, and it can help people become more comfortable with testifying, because before you get on a stand and there's a judge, you would be just a little more comfortable in a room with an office. There's still going to be a court reporter. It is still a formal process, but it's a lot more comfortable than your first time testifying being at trial.
Sure. And how do you all at Bundy Law Office kind of prepare your clients for that? You mentioned that it's kind of like a Q&A, and I imagine maybe for some people it can be a little nerve-wracking to go through this process.
Absolutely. So we do everything that we can to prepare our clients outside of telling them exactly how to say things, right?
Sure.
It has to be their story. We can't tell it for them. So we'll give them an idea of what kind of questions we're going to ask. We'll try to give them an idea of what questions we think the other side might ask, just so they're not caught off guard. And we'll tell them what documents we're looking at. They'll have already given us a lot of information before we get there. They know their story way better than we are ever going to, so this is just our chance to try to get to know their story better.
Okay. Hannah, for people out there and they want to reach out to you, I know we've done several segments with Bundy Law Office covering several things, including how to find the right attorney for you, a breakdown of the members of the team. How can people reach out to you to learn more?
Absolutely. So you can always give us a call or a text at 479-579-2121, and you can email us at info@bundy.law.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you so much to Bundy Law Office for sponsoring this segment. Again, every Tuesday, answering your questions when it comes to family law. We'll be right back.